Some kind of high impact.
Courier snipe. Zai, is he going to get there in time? The Courier turned for a split second. It's got the bottle on it. Zai able to take it. Jirac coming behind it, and then on the bottom lane as well. Top lane clockwork is the first blood. And EG will claim not only a Courier snipe, but you also lose the clock. What was just put on the screen? Sumail, got to be careful right now. His breathe fires on up with the Fade Bolt, just had level 4. So the leap away on low life. Zai turns, going to get the stun into Ana, combining up with the arrow. That's a big stun. Sumail has level 2 Starfall. There should be enough damage on will it. Ana, back to the tower. They missed up as well. And Sumail, now Jirac picks him up. Fade Bolt survival is only level 1. The damage is enough with the bounce out. Jirac's playing it perfectly, and EG, well, the luck was there to get some early first bloods, but they just kept missing.
I want to say they had both heroes miss uphill there. That's what it looked like in some way a final.
Nice stun in the middle. This stun's going to connect Sumail as well. The Starfall's there. One charge is coming. They just sentry ward. Universe, he's visible. The dragon form gives him the range stun. Now hook shot forward. S4's going to hold him there with the cogs. Arrows coming in. Universe gets his stun off. And then a Moonlight Shadow. Who are they looking for? It's actually to get on the top lane. Arteezy out there, but S4 hit the blind hook shot. He had a small bit of time. Pulse Nova will give the extra damage, but now, well, they actually have Ana stuck in the tree line. Dire Creep Waves moving in. Universe under the cover of Vendetta, also in the neighborhood, but they drop a sentry ward. They see him straight away. OG. I don't know if they realize it. Universe with the Spike Carabas might buy himself a little bit of space, but not enough to survive. S4's cogs will keep Sumail out of this fight. Maybe not the Lunar as much, but at least when you're running the track for the early pressure. Jirac's out a long way. S4, the Observer Ward. He saw SD just moving in and crit. Well, like sentry wards. But they're just checking every time where Universe is moving. And underneath the obs and the sentry on bottom, it's actually more trouble for Artur. S4, a big wide hook. A secondary sentry will be dropped. Arteezy with that purge creep. Actually slowing down Jirac for the moment. It's got another charge with elusive beam. Jirac's in trouble. There goes your first disruption out from crit. Jirac gets stunned up, hit by the Vendetta.
Even though there's a Naga on OG, the late game is kind of what EG have kind of recognized as where they're heading in.
Universe, how do you stay alive? Sit underneath your own sentry ward. That way you know they don't have vision of you.
There's a Radiance though, and I think they decide, let's not fight this Radiance song.
DK actually triggers his Dragon Form with the extra sentry planted and the Obs Ward. That sentry is just out of range of the Radiant sentry. Arrow will fly between the middle of OG. The Observer Ward will be taken out. Universe. Oh, the Spike Carabas, the hook shot! S4's in. Disruption came from crit, but it didn't do enough in time. S4 does get stunned up, but no tell. Resets up the fight with the Song of the Siren. Zai's just out of range of it, and that allows Ana to pick him up without turning off the Song of the Siren. Now Sumail into the trees, picked up by Jirac, thrown back into the middle of the OG sandwich, and 4 heroes down for EG. A tier 1 tower to boot, and OG, they look in great control of this game at the moment.
Yep. First thing No-Tail does with his Radiance is tell his team,
both of the Observer Wars that EG placed with the smoke maneuver. So now EG, they're pretty much blind on the map. S4 gets a hook shot down the bottom lane, actually soloing Arteezy's Luna.
Dang, that is not a good sign.
The illusions of Naga that have been sent out by Crit, who made copies of the first copy that Jirac sent into the base. Oh, it's literally copies of copies of copies. There's got to be some level of
it's too early in the morning. I have no idea what you just said. Come on, speaking.
Wake up, gods! Wake up!
Oh boy, it's a tough game for EG. That goes without saying. They've got some good AoE heroes in the Miranda, the Leshrac, so they can theoretically push out lanes. The problem is you're always split up, and that's where the Clockwork pulls this draft together.
This is the opening. This is the opening. It's Arteezy retreating out. S4, hook shot over. Remember, Arteezy has that BKB. Is he going to trigger it to try and fight this with the ensnare? He triggers the BKB, but so late. The Song of the Siren comes out. The Eclipse, the damage just is nowhere near enough. That's actually isolated him. He was the only one immune from the Song of the Siren. Now everyone's on the run. At least they want to run, but they're being denied even that privilege. The SD was caught on the retreat. And OG, they finally got what they wanted. Arteezy just slipped out a little bit too far to farm up the wave. OG pounced. And EG, it almost looked they weren't sure if they actually wanted to fight that.
Yeah, they decided, I mean, Luna had no buyback.
Oh, Ana, blink, stun, crit, goodbye. 45 seconds on the sideline. Sumail jumps in, maybe with a stun, but no Clockwork! It's a huge cog, and they just called GG well played. It was a slow bleed of the blue. And green is reigning supreme. OG take game 1 against Evil Geniuses.
Dang, this OG rocked up the place in Dota. That was some real